Hello? 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 Check. Check. 1, 2, 17, 95. Hello, everyone. How are you? You're dead. Okay, cool. We'll try that again. Hello? Hi? Hello? This is my friend Shaniqua Feliz. We're not really sure what that means. Sean, you could call him Sean. You could call him Feliz. He's looking indecent right now. Had to fix his beard. Oh, there we go. Boom. How many of you guys are completely online right now? Who is actually still in school? Philly. Holding in strong. New Philly is the only one left. That's fun. Well, I just wanted to see who's Brooks loves Smith. I don't know. If anybody that's in here, here's what I want you to do. Pull out your phone, get on Instagram if you have it, or Facebook, or YouTube, because we're on all three. Hello, I don't know where they can see us, but hello, friends that aren't able to be with us today. It's good to see you. I need a partner here in a second. We're gonna play a game. A few of us are. The rest of us are just going to be moral support, but it's gonna be great. It involves Feliz and it involves this happy Christmas tree. But you guys, I have a special announcement. My pocket is open. This is fun. Hold on. Also, the Seahawks are playing right now, and I just want you to know that I love you all so much that I'm not watching the game right now, and I'm here with you. So I feel like you should recognize how much I love you because of the fact that I chose you guys over the game. And I feel like Craig will understand this because he has done this many a times for all of you. He has sacrificed getting to watch the game to hang out with you guys. So make sure you give him some love, but don't Tyler, no kisses or anything like that. Keep it all PG. Here's what I want you to do. Every single one of you who has a phone, who has an Instagram or a Facebook or whatever it is, I want you to share this with somebody. Send this to someone. There's a nice little airplane button. Send it to your friends. Let them know that we're here and we love them. I want them to be a part of it. So, big announcement. We're really excited about it. We'll see if we can do it. We've got a backup option if it doesn't work out. That seems to be COVID in a nutshell. But next week is our last week that we get to meet in any way, shape, or form pre-Christmas break. And everybody said, yay, Christmas break. Anybody? How do we feel? How do we feel about Christmas break? Does it feel like, yes, we're super excited for it? Or no, we feel like we've been on break forever. Give me a thumbs up if you feel good about Christmas break, and thumbs down if you're like, no, I'd rather be at school or in some way of school. All right, we're feeling good. Overall, we're good. Okay, beautiful. I was worried. I don't know, with all the online business, just not as fun. What'd you say? After break, you get to go back. That's good. Claymont, does anybody else know? I feel like everyone is. Dover is going to go back, maybe. They don't know. Nobody knows at this point. New Philly is there. Tusky, are you guys still going? Are you guys online? You're online. She said that's so sad, obviously. So, you're what? Stupid school. All right. Is that like homeschool? That's not stupid school. Oh, hi. That's me. I heard myself twice. Isn't that exciting? That's so fun. So, fun announcement for you. We're going to see if we can pull this off. And this requires all of my senior high boys and my middle school boys help in this. But we're going to do some, hopefully. It's called the Mr. Christmas Tree Pageant. Has anybody ever heard of, I don't know if your high school did this. We did this in college, where it's like, Mr. whatever your school name is. Has anybody ever heard of this? Anyone? Has anybody ever seen the Miss USA pageant? Liar. I know you've totally seen it. So basically what happens is there's a few things that are required in a pageant, right? And gentlemen, this will require no dresses. Yeah. This will require no dresses. Unless you so need it, but I really don't think you will. There's usually a few things that are required. There's like a group number, which means like you all get to like make fools of yourselves in a group number that our senior Ella is going to come up with for you. She's not here right now because she has the Nutcracker, so send love to Ella. Number 2, there is an interview portion, right? Because if you want the crown, you've got to, interview for it, right? Have good answers. You got to be able to be articulate. Big word. Who even knows what that means? You've got to have a runway. There's usually a swimsuit competition, but we are not going to do a swimsuit competition. We're going to do a ugly sweater version of a competition, but you're going to runway walk. So it's really going to be about the runway walk and the interview, And then the 4th is obviously a talent show. So your talent has to be really good. We'll have some judges. Santa might show up. There's going to be an ugly Christmas sweater competition here. So could be all good things. But the thing is, I need at least 5 gentlemen to be able to do it, to offer to do it. Now, here's the thing. You have to be a 9th through 12th grade boy to do it. But then, middle school boys, you are going to help with it. You are going to help. You've got a part to play in this. So if you're willing to be a middle school boy that's in it, I see Landon over there. He's hyped. And I could make an exception. If there's not enough senior high boys, I guess I could make an exception and let the middle school boys, I wanted it to be, you could find your way into it. But I'm just saying, we'll see how many of you are willing to do it. And it would be great if all of our senior high boys are willing to do it, because then we can make fun of you and it'll be funny. But really, truly, it's for the crown, because it's a big deal. It's going to be a big deal. You're going to win some things. Glory, really. Bragging rights. I mean, that's also, who doesn't want that? But then there is a crown. It looks like a Christmas tree. It's pretty epic. There's a sash. There's a few things, and there may be a really nice prize involved. But we'll see. So that's what we have for you tonight. That is our big next week announcement. And if we can't make it happen, we have a plan B. But I guarantee you the plan B is not as exciting as plan A, because I really want to see some talent that these gentlemen have. But we'll see what happens. So let me know after this in the chat. Send me a text, whatever. We'll make it happen. But this is Sean, Nequa, Felice. Say hi to Sean, Nequa, Freeze. In order to, he doesn't really say much, but I think he's going to say something pretty soon. He's listening for something to happen, and I think Anna knows what it is, but I don't know. Maybe. She's going to figure it out, though. We're going to, he's doing the, it's a listening sound. I don't know if you can tell. These are his ears. You can't see them. Oh, 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 oh. One more time. Start it over. Start it over. There it is. I don't know where he is, but from what I remember, even though it's been a while, he needs a little bit of a hype. So you've got to get excited for him. So let's just start it with a slow clap. Who can do it? Start it. Start it. Start it. Oh. There he is. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. I don't know. I think I forgot to grab his mic, huh? Is it back there still? Which one? Anyone. Grab anyone. All right, CJ. We got a game. We need a couple volunteers for this. He grabbed the blue one. So we need a couple volunteers for this. Here's what I need. Number 1. Oh, the tree's going to fall. We're going to play a game. It's called Christmas Relay, okay? I already have 3 hands up here, so here's the beauty of it. I need 2 adult volunteers. Tim, will you come here? Kara, will you come here? Give it up for Tim and Kara. Give it up. Give it up. All right. That was very weak. I need to try again. Give it up for, there we go. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Here's your tree. Here is your gnome. Will you head back on either side of these aisles back here? Thank you, thank you. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to pick a couple volunteers. It's girls versus boys pretty much is what's going to happen. We're going to pick 2 volunteers, or CJ's going to pick 2 volunteers.
I'm going to pick 2 volunteers?
Yeah, here in a second.
Okay.
All right. Here's the thing. Let me read this, because here's what's going to happen.
Yep.
It's a relay, and here's how this works.
Here's how it works.
Oh, you guys don't have to come all the way out there. Come just a little. There you go. I didn't exactly tell you where to go. Come on the other end of the aisle. Yeah, these aisles. There we go. There we go.
Yep.
Beautiful, beautiful. So back yonder, we have Feliz, and we have a Christmas tree. So here's what's going to happen. This is boys versus girls. We're going to call a representative from each side. Here's what happens. He's going to ask you a Christmas trivia question. Trivia question. And you're going to, once you've been chosen, right, you're going to come. He's going to ask this question. You're going to be up here. He's going to ask you a question. You're going to run back. If you're a girl, you're going to go to Kara. If you're a guy, you're going to go to Tim. And then what you're going to do is you got to run back there, grab the object. And then you have to bounce it on your head and come back here. If you're the first person here, you can either say, what did I say earlier? It was defer or accept. That's right. So difficult.
Opposite of defer.
Thank you. I couldn't remember that word. So difficult. Defer or accept. If you say accept, you're going to answer the question. If you say defer, you're going to let the other person answer the question. Now, if you answer the question correctly, right? That means you get a point for your team. If you defer and the other person answers the question correctly, they get the point. Does that make sense? Now, if you answer the question wrong, the other person gets a chance to answer it. And if they get it right, you kind of get the deal, yeah? If you get it wrong.
It doesn't matter if you get it wrong, they get the point.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sure. Yeah. Seems easier, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If you
don't screw it up.
Yeah.
If you get it wrong, you lose the point.
Exactly. We're making this up as we go. Seems to be normal. All right. So I need a girl and I need a guy. All right, Aaron, get up here. Aaron's like, why do you hate me? Why do you hate me? Maddie D, get up here. This is round number 1. All right. Hit him with the questions.
All right.
The one question.
We are the one question?
The one question.
What is the one question?
I don't know. You got them.
Okay. We're going to start off with some Christmas carols. I hope you guys are familiar with your song.
So don't answer it. You got to do the whole thing first, yeah? You with me? You with me? Okay. Erin looks like she's about to punch me in the throat right now.
If it's going to load. There we go. Okay. No.
While I'm young, sometime today.
Listen.
While they're young. I mean, really.
Yeah.
My time is ticking, apparently.
Yeah. Okay. Which Christmas song's second verse begins with "The cattle are lowing"?
Say it one more time.
Which Christmas song's second verse begins with "The cattle are lowing"?
All right, ready, set, go. Quickly, faster than this. Why are you walking? This is a relay.
What is your deal?
Yep, you got to balance it.
On your head. On your head.
Try to use without hands.
Hands off.
Yep. You can, yep, if you need to assist yourself a little bit, but, yep, there you go. You got this. I believe in you.
Sometime today.
Sheesh. It's like they've never balanced a gnome before. It's ridiculous.
Listen, some of us have homework. Not me, but you know.
Okay, here. You just got to.
Just go. Get here.
In
Just
Africa, they can do it.
Get here. Touch the table. Touch the table.
I feel like that was cheating. I'm going to give it to Aaron because she definitely wasn't even. He dropped it. All right. Are you accepting or deferring? The question. Can you answer it? Repeat the question. He doesn't even remember.
Which Christmas song's second verse begins with "The cattle are lowing"?
Okay. What's the answer? Wow. Doesn't even know. All right. We got this. This was hard. I feel like that was a hard question. Can you give them a hint?
It's an easy category.
Wow. What is that song?
I can like.
I don't even think I know the answer. All right. Hold up. Hold on. Okay. Nobody knows. Neither of you know. Okay. Pick somebody else. From a boy or a girl, pick somebody else, but they can't answer it just yet. I need a girl. So Tyler, Aaron, get a girl. There's 2 right there. Or Grace.
There's 3 right there.
Grace, are you coming? All right. There you go. You got this. Okay. You may take a seat. You may take a seat. All right.
Let's give a hand to them, but not too big of a hand because they didn't know the answer. That was appropriate.
That was appropriate. Here we go. Here's what I need you to do. You ready for this? Are you super excited? Brother versus sister. Here's what I need you to do.
Go.
Wait. Sheesh. No, you're going to run back to Tim. You're going to run back to Kara. Then you got to bounce it and come back. All right, Mark, get set, go. Wow, the precision. That was beautiful. Wow. Wow.
Touch the table.
All right, do you accept or defer?
I accept.
You accept. What is the answer?
Away in a manger.
It is away in a manger.
Away in a manger. One for the boys. Can you take that back to Kara?
Hey, take that back.
Tradesies. Now the boys get it. No. Take it to Kara. Don't hurt him. Felice, don't hurt him.
For Sean Nequa.
All right. Here's the thing, though, guys. In order for this to work, I need more excitement from you. I need more. It's like you there. And Maggie, I know you can be way more excited than that. Give me more. Yes, give me much more. Ready on 3. 1, 2, 3. Give me more. They're still really bad at this. Okay, ready? Like I just said you won $1 million. Go. Wow. They clearly don't need $1 million.
Nobody broke down crying.
Nobody's even like the pageant cry like wow, this is pathetic. But it's okay. We'll try it again. All right, Catherine, get up here. Charlie, get up here. I'm just going to start calling names. Let's do this. Okay, give it up for Catherine. Yeah, this is still really weak. Give it up for Charlie. One person likes you. All right, cool. All right, next question. Give it to him.
All right, we're going to look at some Christmas foods.
Oh, no. Make it easy. You saw what happened last time. These are terrible. All right.
You approved this list.
I don't know what you're talking about. Jeez, he's right. I
you ready?
didn't. I let him read
Too
it.
bad. Which milk-based beverage is available around the Christmas holidays and comes in both... Where are you going? Why are you
Wait, he
running?
didn't even read the question yet. Stay here,
Why
cheaters.
are you running?
She's like she's state cross-country runners. Ridiculous.
Which milk-based beverage... You know what? I'm reading another one now. Screw y'all. The red and white costume of Father Christmas was allegedly first introduced by which drinks manufacturer?
Ready, go. My favorite part is how you guys like run back and then you like, oh.
Touch the table.
Nice. Do you accept or deny or defer? You accept. What's the answer?
What is the drinks manufacturer?
Coca-Cola.
It is Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. Nice. Okay, here, Catherine, give that back. Don't hurt him. All right, beautiful. Nailed it. All right, it's 1 for 1, right? Correct?
1 and 1.
All right, Ben, get up here. Charles, the new Charles, come on up here, man.
Wait, that's 2 boys.
Oh, that's awkward. Ben, sit down. Charles,
you're on
come
the
back.
girl's side.
Olivia, get up here. Olivia, come on. You can do it. Olivia. Come on, Olivia. We need you. You don't even have to, no one's going to see your face, I promise. You're wearing a mask. Yeah, give it up for Olivia. Everybody give it up. That was weak. Try again. Give it up. Wow. We really got to work on the hype up in here. Okay, Olivia, nobody's looking at you, I promise. Okay, question. I'm not looking at you. I don't know.
All right. The category is Christmas movies and books.
Christmas movies and books. You got this. I believe in you.
What is the first name of Scrooge, the principal character of the novel A Christmas Carol?
Well, I don't
Come
even.
on, this is common knowledge.
Does everyone? We feel good about this question? Yes. Okay. Ready? Go.
The point of trivia is it's supposed to be a little bit.
I know. I'm like, I got no answers
just
for you.
ask
Keep
them,
walking.
like-
You got this. You're doing great with the tree, by the way. It's nice work. Nice work. This is good. This is good. Olivia, you got this. Don't let him beat you. He's got the tactic down. He's like, as it falls, he runs. I see it. I see it. Oh. Oh.
Uh-oh. Touch the table. Touch the table.
All right.
Olivia, you
Okay.
get the option. Would you like to answer the question or send it to the boys?
So to answer or defer?
So probably don't answer it.
Okay, she's deferring. Charles, what do you got?
I can read it again if you'd like. What is the first name of Scrooge, the principal character in the novel A Christmas Carol?
It's okay if you don't know. You don't know. Okay, here's what's going to happen. Are you ready for this? The first person for you to grab to come up here
That hasn't been
that
up here.
hasn't been up here, that is of your gender, can answer this question for you. Ready? On your mark.
Go.
Okay, give it to me.
Ebenezer.
It is Ebenezer.
Nice. Wow, I should have known that one.
Ebenezer
All right, 2 for the girls, 1 for the boys. Can someone take this back to Kara? Thank you. Yes, please. I guess I was trying to make it complicated. All right,
No, not an elf.
couple more. We got to break this tie.
Okay.
2 more questions, yeah? No, it's 2-1. I guess we first to 3. First to 3. All right, guys, you've got some work to do.
Landon, I see that hand.
Landon, come on up here. Maggie. She's walking. She's like, I'm so shy, you guys. Like, I don't really talk to anyone ever. I really never talk to anybody. There she goes. She was like, I'm so shy. I can't talk to anybody ever. What? It's gonna be great. All right, give it to him.
Well, this is great because you get to run. We're gonna stay in the movies and TV or movies and books. That's what it was. Movies
Sure.
and books category. What was the name of the animated Christmas movie featuring Tom Hanks?
Ready, go. Man, you gotta run. Don't let the boys win. Maggie's just gonna walk. She's nervous. This is good. Maggie, you got this. Power walk. You can do it. Okay, give it to me. Are you accepting or deferring? Okay.
The
Question.
is,
It's like quizzing. Question, answer, question, or whatever
Yeah,
they say.
basically.
Yeah.
what was the name of the animated Christmas movie featuring Tom Hanks?
Do you know the answer? No, he doesn't know the answer. Maggie,
All right,
come on up
Maggie.
here. She's walking like she's never walked before. I'm very confused.
These are
The
her
struggle
first
is
steps.
real. These are the first steps. Okay, Maggie, do you know the answer? Repeat it one more time.
What was the name of the animated Christmas movie featuring Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks, do you have the answer? It's okay if you don't. No.
You can.
You can,
If
I
you're
guess.
wrong, the boys get a point.
Yeah, that's true. If you want to phone a friend, I'm going to give you guys the option to phone a friend.
What?
The Polar Express. The Polar.
She says it's the Polar Express.
And
That means the girls win.
the girls won. Oh, look at that magic.
Let me just say, as a trivia enthusiast, I am so disappointed.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I am
can understand
immensely
that.
disappointed.
Ladies, I brought you dum-dums because, well, I don't know. I just did. Spread those amongst yourselves. Tyler, you're not a girl. Well, you're not. To prove it, too bad. Oh no. We're going to put him there. Actually, I guess I could just move this to the left, down yonder. Ugh, I love it. How many of you guys were able to go to NYC? Anybody? 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 Has anybody ever been to NYC? Not as in New York City. Not New York City, but NYC is in NYC, Nazarene Youth Conference. Anybody? A few of you. Ben? No. All of a sudden, Ben is acting like he's 2, and I'm not exactly sure why. He's over there going, no, no, no. Why are you saying that? What? Aw, I'm sorry, Ben. Next time. Yeah, for sure. Do you need to hold Sean, Nikwa? For comfort? Sean, Nikwa? Do you need her or him or whatever she is? I don't really know. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Shaniqua is a girl's name, short for Sean. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what she is. He is. We're not exactly sure. But my original question, hey, Anna, will you change it to something without words? I don't know. I think there's a slow one, I think. I'll get distracted. It'll be a whole thing, you guys. You don't want the distraction. But my original question, has anybody been to NYC? Anybody? 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 Kara's been, Catherine, Tyler, Charles, Charlie. I was like, now I'm going to throw it off. Charlie, I know your name. How can I not know your name? Harry. Ben, did you go? No? Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? Okay. NYC. If you've never heard of NYC, NYC is Nazarene Youth Conference. It happens every 4 years. It's super, super fun. What happens at NYC is really one of the coolest things ever. But what happens at NYC is a lot of things. It's basically kind of like church camp, but on crack times 1,000. Because I don't know. Yeah, see, crack is not something I want to promote. So church camp on I don't want to promote steroids either. Church camp had a child. I don't want to promote that either. It's just really awesome. Okay, let's put it that way. It's super cool because literally thousands of teenagers and sponsors and youth people show up to one place, and it is one of the coolest experiences I've ever had to date. Coolest experiences. I got to go to NYC here in Arizona this last time, and then I got to go to NYC Africa. So I got to go and help put on the first NYC on the continent of Africa, and that was one of the coolest experiences as well. But NYC is this thing that happens every 4 years. It's a conference pretty much, and you spend pretty much 48 hours. There's 2 or 3 days where you are with thousands of other students from all over the world, and you get to worship together. You get to hear from various different speakers. Actually, one of the speakers, fun fact for you, his name's Stretch Dean. He is our speaker for Summer Camp 2021. So he spoke at this last NYC, and he was really awesome. And so we're going to get to hear from him again, hopefully, fingers crossed, all the things, fingers, toes. But NYC is this really crazy, unbelievable experience. And NYC in Arizona was really cool. I don't know if any of you who went remember this, but have you ever heard the phrase, you just had to be there, right? Anybody? You just had to be there. It was the coolest thing, but I can't really explain it to the what it really was, right? You've had moments where you've taken a picture of something, right? And then you're like, but it just doesn't do it justice. Does that make sense? You're with me? Yeah? Rattle. Okay. So NYC was one of those experiences. I remember there was a time they did all of these different worship sets, and they had all these famous bands come in, but I will never forget this one worship experience. My group, I was with the Intermountain District at the time, and it was crazy to think that we were all in somewhere together, some of you, and we didn't know each other yet. Isn't that crazy? But the cool thing about it was that there was a moment where they did a kind of an acoustic worship set, right? And the lights were all down, and it was in the center. They had this basically like this aisle, and then there was a circle in the middle, kind of stage thing. And all around, people, and then people up. So literally, I should have put a picture up there. I forgot to do that. That's my fault. But literally, you looked, and there was just a sea of all sorts of different colored T-shirts. They had these little wristband things that lit up, and they lit up to music, and it was really, really cool. But what they did was they shut all the lights off, and they had the band in the front, and they just sang song after song after song after song. But it wasn't with all the hype and all the band and all the crazy lights, but it was just worship. It was just where we were singing songs that we all knew, but it was thousands, over 10,000 people, I think it was 8 to 10,000 people, 9,000 people, something like that, singing. And it was people your age, all together in one room from all over the USA and Canada, singing worship music, singing these songs to God. And it was the coolest thing. I can't, obviously, you just had to be there. If you were there, you probably remember this. But I will never forget it because it was the first time for me that I just it was, I don't know if you've ever heard this phrase. People say oh, I just felt God's presence so thick in the room. That sounds like a weird phrase, right? But it's almost like humidity, right? Where you can feel it. It's disgusting, but you feel it. But it was so evident that God was in that space and in that room. And I will never forget it because it literally brought tears. I was just overcome with all this emotion. And there's been so many times in my life where I've worshiped and sang, right? But there was something special about being in a room full of thousands of other students, other leaders, where we got to sing and hear each other's voices and hear each other singing, and maybe we didn't want to hear each other singing. But the thing is, if I can't really fully explain that, right? You just kind of had to be there. And there's some things in life that they're hard to explain, that you just had to be there to experience it, right? And I think it's hard for us in this Christmas season. We talk about the birth of Jesus, and we talk about his story and his life, right? And how this God that we talk about came to earth as a baby. But not just any baby. He was born of a virgin. He was born of a young teenage girl. And I don't know how many of you, some of you guys have been coming to church your whole life. You've heard this story 1,000 times, and some of you have never heard this story. Some of you have no idea what I'm even talking about. And you can't go, even if you come out right outside, you can't go during this season of Christmas without seeing a nativity scene. And if you have no idea what that is, it's a scene that we talk about every year of baby Jesus and the manger and Mary and Joseph and the wise men and the shepherds. And there's all these different parts to this story in there that you can't go anywhere usually during this season. And you probably, without seeing that image. And maybe you've heard this story 1,000 times and you're kind of I don't know. I've heard about these angels. I've seen the scene. I've seen all this stuff. And trying to explain how incredible the season is seems kind of eh. And you hear tons of people, hopefully Christians, usually they say things man, this season, you just have to, it's so hard to explain what God does. It's so crazy what God does in this time. This whole season is about God coming. And it's hard to kind of gather in your mind what all this season means. And a lot of people say, man, this season is the season that changed my life. Because this baby comes and he changes everything. And maybe for you, you don't get it, and that's okay. I think even for myself for a really long time, this might be the first Christmas that it feels more real to me. And I've heard this story 1,000 times. And you've maybe heard how this story, this birth of Jesus, has been life-changing from people whose lives don't look like they've been changed. I don't know if that sentence made any sense to you, but maybe if I put it in another way, like you've heard people say, oh, this has been the greatest experience for me, and that Jesus changed everything about me, but yet it doesn't seem like they live their lives in such of a way that they have been changed. And maybe, you've heard that this season, that Jesus' birth talks about how good God is, and yet in this season of life, or just in general, you've looked around and kind of go, I don't really see how God could be good, how this could be a good thing. And I don't know where you are and whether you care about this story, whether you believe this story, whether you feel like this story is just full of it or not. I want to highlight a few things of it for us today. I want you to listen in, because I think that this story has pieces for us today that has something that we have to experience for ourselves, that Jesus comes and this can be a story that can change everything. So this first one comes from Luke, and we're going to read from the book of Luke 2, 1-7. And it says this. It says, in those days, Caesar Augustus issued a decree that a census should be taken of the entire Roman world. This was the first census that took place while, Quirinius, the governor of Syria, and everyone went to their own town to register. So Joseph also went up from the town of Nazareth to Galilee, to Judea, Bethlehem, the town of David, because he belonged to the house and line of David. He went there to register with Mary, who was pledged to be married to him, and they were expecting a child. While they were there, the time came for the baby to be born, and she was giving birth to her firstborn son. She wrapped him in cloths, placed him in a manger, because there was no guest room available for them. There was no guest room available for them. There was no room for them in the inn. Let me see. I have a question for you, and this isn't a rhetorical one. I'm genuinely asking for a response from you. But if the God of the universe wanted to show up, right, on earth and announce his presence to the world for the first time, you would think probably, right, that it wouldn't be like that. It wouldn't be that he would be born in a manger, in like a feeding trough kind of a thing, right? If this were you, if the roles were reversed and you knew like, okay, I'm going to be God, I'm going to come, I'm going to announce myself to the world, how would you have done it? How would you have wanted to be announced? Brad, I'm going to ask you, if you walk into a room, let's just say at school, right? How would you, if you thought you were a big deal, which I don't know, maybe you are, I don't know, big guy, I don't know, on campus, who knows? But how would you want to be announced? Would you want to be like, yo, everybody look at me? Or would it be more of like a, hey, I'm just going to sneak in through the back door? Confetti cannons. I like it. This is good. I like it. Maggie, how would you want to be introduced? She's dead. Blend in with the crowd. I like it. We got confetti guns. We got crowd. Landon, help me out. How would you want to be introduced? Would it be a big thing or a small thing? Small thing? All right. Let me give you an example. This is why I would answer with probably like slipping in through the the back door. Yeah, I knew you'd laugh about that. That's right. Just because I'm chocolate. But slipping through the back door. Hey, Anna, will you do me a favor? I don't know how. One of you, will you just turn it down? Just a skosh up here is like, I'm so distracted, but that's because I think I have ADHD. It's not like legit, but I think I do. So funny story. This time last year, I think, sure, we'll go with it. It was like last year, around this time. when we could still go to school, one of my favorite things to do, and I miss a ton, is I would go to our schools and I'd have lunch. So I would go in to the cafeteria, bring my own lunch or whatever, and I'd sit with our students. Hopefully someday I can come have lunch with you, or you can come have lunch with me, whatever. But I love getting to go into the schools and hang out with you guys and have lunch. Anyways, but my one of the first times I gotten to go was for 6th grade lunch at our middle school, and I'll never forget it because it was literally like the most loved I'd ever felt, but also the most like, please never do that again. I was terrified after that to come into this cafeteria, but I'd not even gotten into the school doors. So the school doors were like, if you picture those doors back there, and then like it was kind of like prison looking, I don't know. There was like windows here that you could see the outside from the cafeteria, but that was kind of it. And I don't even know how this happened, but I came into the doors, and 3 of our 6th grade boys at the time came running at me. And it was really, I was like, I don't even know how they saw me because there was no way. But I had to go in, check in through the front office, and get my little name tag and then come into the cafeteria. And I was just expecting, like, I'm just going to slip in and I'm going to sit down with some of our students. And kid you not, get in. I come in through the cafeteria doors, and because it's a 6th grade boy, literally one of them goes, Blair, stands up, like screams over in front of all of his friends, stands up and is like clapping. And he got the entire cafeteria of whatever lunch this was to stand up and cheer and like scream my name. And I was super embarrassed because I was like, I don't want anybody, I don't even know half of you. And it was super embarrassing, but it was like this big deal, right? And I think if we think about Jesus and we think about like God coming in, right, we would think hopefully like, oh, he would come and do this crazy big thing. But no, the story is that Jesus comes as a baby in a quiet little manger, right? And he shows up in not exactly the greatest, like most helpful way. He shows up naked, small, and helpless, which, is not exactly how you think you'd want to show up. But for all of human history, people thought that God was angry with him. They thought that he was distant and someone who had to be appeased. But then God shows up as a baby, that he shows up as an infant. And he shows up humble and he shows up kind to let us know that he does get us, that he does understand us. And he showed up just kind of like you guys did, the same way he came into the world that we did. And God experienced what it's like to be a human, what it's like to be just like you and I. And this Christmas story is this crazy cool, remarkable idea of what God is like. And he wanted to put himself in our shoes. He wanted to wrap himself up in skin, like your skin and my skin. And he wanted to be like us. He wanted to come, like we talked about last week, he wanted to be with us, God with us, Emmanuel. And if you've ever wondered if God knows you and God loves you, if you ever wondered if God understands what it's like to be you, or what it's like to live on this planet, or what it's like to be in a human body, God does, because he did it. The Christmas story tells us this proof. And Luke, one of the gospel writers, he says this, and then there were shepherds living out in the fields nearby, keeping watch over their flocks at night. And the angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terrified. But the angel said to them, don't be afraid. I bring you good news that will cause great joy for all the people. Today in the town of David, a Savior has been born to you. He is the Messiah, the Lord. This will be a sign to you. You will find a baby wrapped in cloths and lying in a manger. And suddenly, a great company of heavenly hosts appeared with the angel, praising God and saying, glory to God in the highest heaven, and on earth, peace to those for whom his favor rests. When the angels had left them and gone into heaven, the shepherds said to one another, let's go to Bethlehem and see this thing that has happened, which is what the Lord told us about. This phrase, good news, great joy. I love good news of great joy. This is one of my favorite phrases. And I don't know if you've heard about God and if you've heard about this idea in this story, and I'm sure most of you in this room have heard this story, but it doesn't seem like, okay, this would be like good news and great joy for everyone. But if you've thought that before, then unfortunately you haven't heard the story right, because this way that God came, he came and these angels coming and telling the shepherds, right? These guys were the lowest of the low. Like, these were the people that nobody really cared about. They were too poor. They were definitely unshowered, like some of you might be at times, or even tonight, because you probably haven't showered in 3 weeks. Because Corona, I don't know. I didn't, never mind. But this is who God chooses to show up to, right? He chooses to show up to the lowest of the low. He chooses to be the one that comes and is willing to accept and offer his love to those who society has cast out. The guy or girl that nobody wants to sit with at lunch, right? That person. Think of that person. Or the person at school that everyone gossips about, or the person that you're like, I do want to have anything to do with this person, right? God showed up for that person. God showed up to that person. Imagine that's the kind of person that God chose to show up to. And if that is who God chooses to show up to, that even the lowest of the low, right? There's a God that's kind of an unexplainable way of going about things. That he loves all of us, that he wants us all to experience who he is. He wanted to come and be like us. And I think what's great about this story is nobody could make this story up. I mean, sure, maybe you could try, but I think if we think about like characters in Marvel and all that stuff, right? Like usually the person that they choose to show up to isn't the lame person. I mean, I guess Spider-Man and what's his face, Captain America, who I do really love. He was like weak and limpy, but like, I didn't say he is, was. But God chooses to show up to the shepherds. I can spell and speak, it's fine. And they say, let us go and see what happened, right? And they say, Luke 2:16-20, the rest of the story goes like this. So they hurried off and found Mary and Joseph and the baby who was lying in the manger. And when they had seen him, they spread the word concerning what they had been told about this child, and all who heard were amazed at what the shepherds said to them. But Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart. The shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things that they had heard and seen, which were just as they had been told. So I don't know for you if you believe this story, or if you heard nothing that I said and you're like, this isn't for me. I don't really care. It doesn't even matter. Maybe you think like, man, that's kind of an interesting way that God would show up even for the lowest of the low. Or maybe right now you're like, I just want her to shut up so that we can move on so I can talk to my friends, which is also fine too. But if you've listened to nothing I've said, I want you to like wake up your neighbor or like be alert. Don't make me yell at you. Just kidding. I wouldn't yell. I don't even know how to do that. But I want to encourage you to do something that nobody would have expected you to do back in the first century. I want you to do what the shepherds did. And what they did was they went to see for themselves. Sometimes we have to go. Sometimes we have to just experience it for ourselves, right? Like NYC, I will tell you, you have to go. Like whatever, if you need to start, if you're in middle school right now, start saving all of your money. Promise you, it's so worth it. I promise. God will meet you in ways that he has never met you. And I really think that that's true. Because God met me there in a way that I've never experienced before. God can do amazing things in this time right now. God can do amazing things in your small group times. But you have to go and see for yourself. You have to engage, right? So how do we do this? 2 easy ways. Ready? They're going to be your life's going to change. It's going to be great. Number 1 is keep showing up. And number 2 is ask more questions. This whole God thing, this is what I want you to get out of your small group times every week when you show up, is those two things, is keep showing up and to ask more questions. Because let me tell you, there isn't a single person in this room that knows every answer to every question about Jesus. Not even me. Not even Pastor Mark. Not a single one of us in here knows all there is to know about who God is. But the beauty of that answer, what I just said, is that we get to keep discovering who he is. And in this time, you might, during small groups and hanging out together, And during this time, like, you are allowed to ask questions. If something I said sparks something and it has nothing to do with what you're talking about, but it's on topic with about Jesus, ask the questions. And if we don't know, we will tell you we don't know, but we'll go look. We'll go find it out. We'll go seek it out with you. We'll encourage you to go seek it out. But keep showing up, because maybe you need to show up here. Maybe it's online. Maybe you need to show up to Sunday morning and hear the messages that Pastor Mark preaches. Occasionally I'll get to too. Maybe it's you need to wait until January and you need to come and you need a fresh perspective and you want to be in this group, in this family, right? And I say this every time we're together on some level, right? That you can belong here before you behave, because if God has your heart, he knows your heart, he will help you change your habits. That this is a place that you belong. So this is where we want you to keep showing up, to this building, online. But then we want you to ask questions. That's what those small group time, that's what it's for. Ask questions. If you don't know something, ask questions. Go seek it out. If you're wondering, what is all this about? What makes it so hard to believe? What do you want to know more about? What do you wonder about? Ask someone. Ask one of your leaders. Ask myself. But the greatest things you guys can do in your faith, in your walk with God, in life, is to ask more questions and keep showing up. So I want you to know that I want you to experience the love of Jesus. I want you to experience this God who we believe during this season came to be with us, to live among us. We want you to experience who he is. And the best ways to do that is to keep showing up and to ask more questions, even of God. If that's what your prayers look like, right? If that's what they look like, is you just one thing after the other, after the other, after the other, asking a question of God, I promise you God will give you ways to hear those answers. So, Tyler, if you want to ban the three of you that are playing, we're just going to close with just the one song, the second one, tonight. But you guys can come on up here, and I'm going to close us. But what if, the question I have for you, come on up. Question I have for you is, like, what if you did those things? What if you keep showing up? What if you ask more questions? And what if you experience something like the shepherds did? Like, you experience God for yourself. What if instead of taking my word for it, or your small group leader's words for it, or your grandma's words for it, or Pastor Mark's word for it, that you experience God for yourself, that you start asking questions, that you start seeking God out for yourself? Maybe, I don't know. How do you think that your year would be different? How do you think 2021 would be different? Even if there's a pandemic, right? How do you think your year would look different if you kept showing up? That doesn't always mean physically. That means virtually. That means seeking out, coming here, whatever that case may be. Keep asking questions. Keep praying. How do you think your year would look different? I want you guys to think about ways as we worship together and as we are going into small groups that you can do this, that you can keep showing up, and that you can keep asking questions, and that you can see for yourself and have a relationship with who God is. Because you never know, just like I did at an NYC, what you might experience or how God will come and meet you in any way he can. And you never know, it actually really could change everything. So I want to pray for us, and I'm going to invite you guys to stand. We're going to sing just one song. We're going to sing Reckless Love together. Because I want you to be reminded that there is actually a God that literally gave up everything, that gave up confetti guns, right, if that's what we wanted, or a giant, like, cafeteria clap-in, right, or whatever, fill in the blank for yourself. God gave up high honors because he wanted to come, have skin like our skin, have flesh like our flesh, have a mind and brain, and wanted to walk among us because he loves you that much and he wants to have a relationship with you. So I want you to think about that as we close, as we sing tonight, as we go into groups. Let me pray for us. Papa, I want to thank you for this opportunity for my family and I to gather together and worship you. I thank you so much that you're a God who loves us, that you're a God who knows us, that you're a God who wants to be with us, and that if we go see for ourselves, that if we keep seeking you out, that God, you will make yourself known to us. You talk about that in Jeremiah 29, 11 through 14. You talk about if you seek me with all of your heart, you will find me. And that looks like praying. That looks like showing up physically. That looks like showing up virtually. But God, whatever it looks like for us, would you help us to go see for ourselves in small groups with asking questions of our leaders, asking questions of our friends, asking questions of our parents. God, would you show up? Would you show up in ways that only you can? We ask that you would be with us tonight as we worship and as we hang out in groups. We give this time to you in your holy and precious name. Amen. All right, guys, stand on up.
Before I spoke the word, you were singing over me. You have been so, so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. You have been so, so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99, and I couldn't earn it. I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. And oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God, yeah. When I was your foe, still your love fought for me. You have been so, so good to me. When I feel no worth, you paid it all for me. You have been so, so kind. And oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. And oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99, and I couldn't earn it. I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. And oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God, yeah. Shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. And oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. And oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. And I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, till you give yourself away. And oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God, yeah.
Oh, if I can take this off. Hey Tyler, will you play just that bridge one more time for us? Those words, right? There's no shadow, you won't climb, what is it? Shadow you won't light up. I was like, I can't remember. Mountain you won't climb up coming after me, right? There's literally nothing. There's literally nothing in the world that could stop him from coming and pursuing after a relationship with each and every single one of you. And some of you have been in this church your whole life, and that means nothing to you. The words that I just said means nothing to you. Literally, somebody decided to humble themselves to come to have flesh like you and me because they wanted to have a relationship with you. So I want us to sing those words. I want you to legitimately think about what that means in your life. That somebody thought you were that awesome, that you were that amazing, that they wanted to do whatever they could to have a relationship with you. And are you doing everything you can to have a relationship with God? Are you doing everything you can to go after that, to go after and seek who that is? Because let me tell you, if this story of God coming as a baby, right? If that story doesn't change who you are, doesn't change how you act, right? Doesn't change everything about us as people who call ourselves Christians, right? And some of us, we haven't made that decision. But let me tell you, there is not a single person on this planet who's going to do for you what God did for you, what Jesus did for you, of humbling himself, coming as a baby. So what I want you to do is we're going to sing that again. I want you to sing that bridge into that chorus again, because I want you to speak those words. I want you to sing those words. Even if you can't sing, I want you to sing those words, because you need to speak those words out of your mouth loud enough that your ears can hear what you're saying, because I want you to know tonight that those words are true for you. Even if you're at home, wherever you are, that you need to sing those words, because those words are the words that change everything. That relationship with God, we talked about this last week, God with us. That changes everything. So Tyler, will you lead us in that one more time, and I'll pray for us and send us to our groups.
There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming don't deserve it. Still you give yourself away. And oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God,
Papa, I want to thank you for this opportunity for my family and I to gather together and worship you. Thank you that you are a God who seeks after us, that you are a God who pursues us, that you love us recklessly, that you love us so much that you would come in flesh, that you would come to be like us, to have skin like us, to have brains like us, to be among us, to live among us, because you love us that much, and you change everything. So God, I just ask tonight that we would, in our small group time, that we would ask questions, that we would show up. And that doesn't even just mean because our bodies are physically in the room or not in the room. We would show up with our minds ready to hear, and our hearts open, and our ears ready to listen and receive, and to ask questions, and to engage with what it is you want from us tonight. So God, I just ask that you would be with us. You would help us to learn something tonight. In your holy and precious name, amen. I almost fell off the stage. That would be terrible. If you are a senior high boy, you're going to follow CJ and Tim downstairs. Follow Tim and CJ. Come on, whatever direction you're going to go. Head on out. If you are a middle school girl, I think you guys are going to be in the foyer, yeah? Foyer with Lori. Senior high girls with Kara, you're going to be downstairs, I believe. And then middle school boys, you are also downstairs in that classroom A. So you are dismissed. If you are on a chat somewhere in the sky of the cloud, feel free to send us a DM and we can FaceTime you into a small group if you want to be in it. All right, closing it out. 3, 2, bye.